Universes Beyond. One of the most controversial things in Magic the Gathering at this time. Whether you like them or you hate them, you hear the discourse of whether they're saving Magic or destroying Magic, but they're here to stick around, at least for the time being. And as the CEO of Hasbro has said last year, if there's a property you can think of, they have probably penned a deal for it. And so I kind of wanted to do, a little bit of fun video for me, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm prepared to have the 8 to 10 comments down below talking about how Universes Beyond shouldn't be a thing and that we'll see none of these, but, it is what it is. Thank you for the comments. Whether you like it or don't like it. I'm going to be going through a bunch of Universes Beyond potential properties and how likely I think they are to happen. So I've got my key here. Number 1, or if it gets a 1, it's never going to happen. 2, not likely. 3, could go either way. 4 is likely, and 5 is it's absolutely happening in one way or another. Now, when I go through these, I'll also explain whether I think they'll get a full set, commander product, or just a secret lair. And along with this, please note that I am a older millennial. I was born in '89, so I'm damn near 40 at this point. Oh god. And so I don't know a lot of the newer properties that y'all young kids probably know about. So if you oh god, that was cringe. If there's a property that I miss in this, especially when it comes to things like anime, I'm not a huge anime guy, put them in the comments down below, and whether or not, or how likely you think it is for those properties to appear as Universes Beyond in Magic the Gathering. So, without further ado, a little bit less yapping from me, here are a bunch of potential Universes Beyond. And we're going to start out, number 1, with Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is probably a little bit past its peak, although has seen a resurgence with A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms and also the Dance of Dragons. But Game of Thrones at one point in time was an absolutely giant cultural phenomenon. I do believe that we will get a full set of Game of Thrones, and I believe this because, it's not that far removed from the zeitgeist of popularity, and Magic kind of lags in how long it takes to make a set. I think that we could see Game of Thrones either next year or the year after, but I do think that we would see it. And I'm going to give Game of Thrones a 4 out of 5, and here's why. Game of Thrones, although more adult content than kids content, don't show your kids the show, friends. It fits very well into Magic the Gathering. It's got dragons, it's got spooky ice zombies, it's got a whole bunch of different human lords out there doing things. Everything from, our Anglo-Saxon analogous houses of Westeros, reenacting like the War of the Roses, to our Hunnic and Mongol derived Dothraki over in the Eastern Seas, and then the Near East being represented by the free cities and stuff like that. We have a whole lot that we can pull from. We can pull from the Dance of Dragons. You can pull from the book lore with Aegon the Conqueror and Balerion the Black Dread and all of that for the dragons. You have Daenerys Targaryen. You have Eddard Stark. You have Jon Snow. You have the Night's King, all of those different things, and you could have different houses for Lord of the Rings represent different wedges, different colors in the color pie, right? You could have green, white be Tyrell. You could have Boros be Lannister. You could you can kind of get along, kind of see that. And you could even probably do multiple sets and commander products for Game of Thrones. So I'm going to give that one a 4 out of 5. And do I think that it would be well received? I actually think that I keep wanting to say Lord of the Rings. A Game of Thrones would actually be decently well received inside of Magic the Gathering. It fits pretty well inside of the already established atmosphere of Magic the Gathering, and I think it would do pretty well. Next, the Elder Scrolls. I think that this is a 5. We've already gotten commander products for Fallout. It actually blows my mind that we got Fallout in Magic the Gathering before we got the Elder Scrolls. The Elder Scrolls is massive. Massive, massive, massive in lore. From Daggerfall, Hammerfell, we have Skyrim, Oblivion, Morrowind, right? The Elder Scrolls Online. There is literally thousands and thousands and thousands of years worth of very, very in-depth lore created by Bethesda that we can pull from for the Elder Scrolls. You can absolutely do a massive set for it. I think that they would be best served if they were going to do sets, that if they do a Morrowind set, an Oblivion set, and a Skyrim set, I think that would probably do them the best. If they're going to do a set spanning multiple, I think it would be best if they stick to Skyrim for their first set, because it is the most recent game, and it would be another way for Todd Howard to give us Skyrim without giving us the Elder Scrolls 6. I do think that this is in the works. I don't know anyone at Wizards, right? I'm a dude who lives in Iowa. I don't know any other Magic creators on a personal basis. I don't know anybody at Wizards. But if I had to guess, I would say that the Elder Scrolls, in some capacity, is already in production in some way, either in design, concept. It's coming. It has to. Like, there is no way that we can square the circle of Fallout continuously making it into Magic the Gathering without the Elder Scrolls also making it into Magic the Gathering. So that's a 5. It's gonna happen. I gotta mark these off so I don't miss them, right? Next, there's been a lot of talking about this one, and that's Harry Potter. Now, I know that there was a Wizards employee who said that they have their own magical schools and things like that. I myself, I read the books when I was a kid. I didn't like the books when I was a kid. I don't like the movies. I just don't like Harry Potter, and I don't like J.K. Rowling. I think that they will stick to their guns for a while about not doing Harry Potter. So for now, I am considering it a 2. And I'm not going to put a 1 because at some point in time, I do think it's going to happen. Whether it's after J.K. Rowling is gone, because I think that Magic will outlive her, for example. Or because Magic's been here 30 years. It'll be here 30 more years from now. I think that at some point in time, they're going to try. And that the reaction's probably going to be bad. And when they do try, I think that they will try to do a whole set when that happens. But again, for now, I'm putting it at 2. Not likely. And I personally, if they announce tomorrow that they were doing a Harry Potter set, I will not do deck techs on that set. I will not engage with that set. I won't spend a single dime on that set. I'm just letting you know that here and now, based solely upon like the author of and what she stands for. Now, there goes a bunch of subscribers and probably some hate comments down below. But you know what? My name's Weston, and I stick to my guns, and I talk from the heart. Next, we have Elden Ring. I don't know if this one's been confirmed, but I see this as a foregone conclusion as well. I think we're going to get... we're 100% going to have something from Elden Ring. I think it's going to be Secret Lairs. I haven't played the game. I've watched my friend Jacob get destroyed by something that looks like a cat a million times, and it was absolutely hilarious. I think that it was popular enough that we're going to get a secret lair to it at some point in time. Probably sometime this year, especially since I think is it Night Rain is the name of the DLC, whatever the DLC that came out for it. I think that we will see some form of secret lair for it. That this one I don't have a whole lot to talk about because I don't know the property all that well. It's not controversial. It's very popular. A lot of people play it. And we've seen that they've done other video game stuff like Jinsakai, etc. Next, we already all know this. This is my easy layup. K-Pop Demon Hunters. We're 100% going to get K-Pop Demon Hunters. I don't think it's going to be Commander product. I don't think... there's not enough stuff to do a set. And there's honestly not enough stuff to probably do Commander decks. I could be wrong. They could do a Huntrix set and a Sasha Boy set. In fact, Wizards, hear me out here. No one's ever going to see this, but hear me out here. If you do that, you could make a triple partner deck with Rumi, Zoe and Mira. You could make triple partner a thing. I don't think they would, but I think it'll be a secret lair. We all know it's coming. They're really wanting to cash in on it. And full disclosure, I will buy that. My wife and I both really love K-pop Demon Hunters. My wife was adopted from Korea. It was really cool to see her reaction as she's been trying to, as an adult, really become more in tune with her Korean heritage and culture, trying to learn the language. We do Korean foods. We've started like learning about Korean holidays and things in our household. And when she saw like this being represented, it was really important for her, especially since we have our daughter, and we want our daughter to grow up knowing both the United States and her Korean heritage. And she absolutely loves the movie. So we will be buying K-pop Demon Hunter stuff. Again, super likely, super gonna happen. Sorry for that side tangent there. That's some personal insight into the life of Weston there. Next, we're gonna go with DC. Now this one, I'm gonna put as a likely. I'm gonna put this as a 4, but we're gonna put an asterisk on this one, big ol' asterisk. I think that it will only happen depending on what the contract is with Disney and Marvel. I could totally see that Disney and Marvel had, with their contract with Wizards, had them sign a non-compete clause, meaning that, say Marvel's like, all right, you can use Marvel, but you cannot partner with a rival property like DC. Absolutely. And once that expires, I think that they'll probably move on to DC. We'll see Superman. And to be honest with you, as much as a lot of people hate the universes beyond of Marvel, let's be honest here. It's going to be really cool to have like a Spider or like a Superman versus, like Captain Marvel deck, right? Like just seeing your favorite heroes clash against each other would be really kind of cool. I'm on board for it. Even if I don't think it's the most magic-y thing in the world, I gotta be a realist here. I think it's gonna happen. Next, this one's more niche, and it's more because I love it a lot, and that's Mass Effect, and I'm gonna include Dragon Age in there. And I'm gonna give it a 2. I don't think it's gonna happen. And I think had Universes Beyond been a thing back in the early mid-2000s, I think we would have seen both. I don't think so anymore. I love Dragon Age and I love Mass Effect. Man, I probably have well over 3,000 hours put into the Mass Effect trilogy. Shout out to those of you who know just how good those games are. And for those of you who don't, I highly recommend you buy the remastered editions and just play through them. They are amazing. But they're well past their prime. They could go really well as Commander product or as Secret Lairs, but I just don't see them. Same with Dragon Age. I just don't see it happening. They're well past their prime. EA is EA, and so I don't think they're gonna really play ball that well with Hasbro. So that one I put on here as part of like the I wish, but no. Then we have Cartoon Network, and I put Cartoon Network as kind of like an overall thing. I think we will get some Secret Lairs that are Cartoon Network themed. We've already gotten Nickelodeon and Viacom. It's only a matter of time. And I'm going to be honest with you, I want a Courage the Cowardly Dog Secret Lair. I will buy that every time because I love Courage the Cowardly Dog. And like the old cartoons of Dexter's Lab, Johnny Bravo, etc. You got I like Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Heck, bonus points if they could get some of those in there. But I think that one's less likely, at least for now. If we do, it's only going to be Secret Lairs, and they're going to be reskins, kind of like the SpongeBob ones. Then we're going to go with Halo. Halo, much like Mass Effect and Dragon Age, let's be honest, is past its prime, but it's not dead yet, friends. And Halo, I think, is more broadly popular than other things. I would love to see a Secret Lair or Commander product for that. Seeing a Covenant precon, a Flood precon, and a UNSC precon would be ho ho ho. I would love it to death. But I have it set as a 3. This could go either way. We are supposed to be getting the Halo remaster coming out on PlayStation and things like that. There's a new Halo game coming. I could see us getting a Secret Lair lining up with those, or even Commander products. So either way, could go either way. And because I want to keep this video somewhat short, I only have one more, and that is Star Wars. Now, I would put this at a 5. However, it still has a card game. Although, from my research and from watching some other YouTubers, the card game is pretty much dead in the water. It's imploding. It's not really getting the support it needs. And that is the biggest good news for Magic the Gathering Universes Beyond that I've ever heard. Because if there is one property, and I mean one property, that could dwarf, and I mean absolutely dwarf, Final Fantasy on sales, it is Star Wars. I think that it is the only property that exists that can dwarf Final Fantasy. And I think that we will likely see it someday. We just need its current card game to die out. I also think that we would get multiple sets for Star Wars. I think that we would get the Clone Wars era. I think we would get the Empire era. I think we could get the New Republic. Hell, I even think we could get the Old Republic. If Wizards got enough of the rights and they did well enough, you could see 4 or 5 sets of Star Wars Magic the Gathering. Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. Star Wars The Clone Wars. Like I said, the Empire era for the main trilogy, and then the sequel trilogy. You absolutely could get all of that. And then along with that, Commander products, Secret Lair products. Have a Secret Lair of the Mandalorian. We know that movie's coming. I would not be shocked if we see a Secret Lair with like Grogu and the Mandalorian. Bump this up to a 5. But that Star Wars right now, though, is a 4 because it does have its own card game. But let me know in the comments down below. Let me know about some properties that you think might be things that we could see in the future, things we might not see in the future. Am I totally off base with my estimations on some of these? Again, let me know. I like talking with people in the comments. It brings me some joy and happiness. It helps the algorithm, but it's more about, like, I love Magic and talking Magic so much, even when it's Universes Beyond and things like that. As always, I'm Weston with the Hidden Gibbon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.